I got to kick this thing off. Can I kick it off? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ladies and gentlemen, listen.
We're gonna stop sending your children over to a pointless war. Those are the things that they should be messaging, right? But they said the first thing we're going to do was impeach Donald Trump. He's already been impeached.
Right.
He's already a convicted felon. He's already a convicted felon. And he's still taking this country into hell. That don't matter no more.
Right. Right. That's feeding into the anti-government sentiment even more, because people be like, see, they're doing the same thing he was doing. You know, he's going after a witch hunt just like him. They're no better.
Yeah.
So,
like you said, I think they enjoy like attacking the system and, talking about how terrible these people are doing. But like you said, they don't have no strategy. They don't have any strategy for what they're going to do to turn things around. We're tired of listening to them argue back and forth about who's running this country into the ground. Collectively, you're running the country into the ground. All of you together as a unit. And then you keep taking these breaks, but then when it comes time to do some redistricting or some foul shit, all of a sudden everybody can come back in the office and do their damn job that we paying for. Like, come on, man. Like, it's crazy.
You could take they play the morality, moral high ground card fighting against the system. But once you're in power, you really can't play that morality. You got to be cutthroat. You got to be ruthless.
Yeah.
Once you're in
power.
Do
something.
You know what I mean? So they would rather lose and keep saying, well, I'm fighting against them. That's anti-constitution. That's anti-this, anti-that. And they feel good about themselves. They feel like I took the moral high ground.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. It's like they don't have any real fight in them. They just about that they got the bark, but not the fight.
Yeah, they need
to be out there getting it done.
I told y'all what it was.
Belt to ass.
I told y'all what it was. When they had the last shutdown, right? They had the last shutdown. And then the Democrats miraculously, it was like 6 or 7, whatever it was, the right number they needed to pass the vote. They miraculously came up with 6 Democrats who were no longer running.
Yep.
To go ahead and side with the Republicans and reopen the government. And as soon as I saw that, I said, you know what? They are in on it too. And what did I just say? They will not go against the comfort and the protection that white supremacy gives them.
Right. Well,
they in on it too.
Not all of them was white though. That did that.
What was it?
There was at least one black person that voted for it to get it back open.
But you got to think too. Yeah. How many millionaires are in Congress?
All of them.
That's what I'm saying. They don't want to lose that. They don't want to lose those connections. They don't want to lose that. Oh, I'm writing a book, or I'm doing these TV appearances, or I'm shaking hands with this person.
Or that access to inside trading. Shout out to Nancy Pelosi. Yeah,
right.
That part.
And I've said it before too. Really, the whole government, the way it's set up, the Constitution is just a piece of paper, right? There's really, and we've seen there's really no way to enforce if the executive branch says I'm not doing that. And so this whole 250 years, it's just been on the honor system, on people playing, keeping it nice, So if we really want to get to where we want to go, that Constitution needs to be ripped up, and we need to start from scratch. And I mean, I've said it before, it's not a lot of appetite for that, but that's really what it'll take. Because otherwise you're just trusting on corrupt humans to play fair. And as you get more money and more power as a nation, people are going to be corrupted. They're not going to be beholden to those old school traditional values, quote unquote.
And I think they're scared too. They're scared in the sense because you remember when Biden beat Trump, they was like, shit, we're ready to Capitol.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have no
Yeah.
problem with resorting to violence. They never
No,
have.
no, never have.
They never have.
Never have.
They steal, kill, destroy. It's nothing for them to do that.
Whatever, yeah.
Nothing.
That's standard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
it's always,
But they
not
called us the super predators.
right. Not to go off on a tangent on this, but it makes me think of like what's going on in Iran right now, where they're like, they can never have what if they had a nuclear weapon? The only country that's ever used a nuclear atomic weapon. Who was that? Can we guess who that was? The only country that's ever used one.
Literally
Ever.
us.
So yeah, they're scared. They think people are like they are, and if they have access to it, they'll use it on us or what have you. But yeah.
Yeah,
That's
man.
really what we worried about, retaliation.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and before we go, I mean, I talked about some of the Black political representatives. We talked about Tim Scott. What's that one dude down in Florida? Got the little goofy ass
Byron Daniels or something like that. Byron Davids or something.
something like that. It ain't even worth knowing his name. Sellout. But the biggest sellout in American history, Black American history. Take one guess who that is.
The justice.
Clarence Thomas.
I knew, yeah, exactly.
I don't see how he sleeps with himself. I don't see how he sleeps. I don't see how he sleeps.
He's a demon.
I don't see how he
sleeps
sleeps.
just fine.
He probably don't sleep.
You literally are a man without a country. You think these folks really care about you? You are a tool. And I remember seeing how they were trying to say, oh, he doesn't have a big enough display in the Smithsonian African American History Museum. He shouldn't even be in there. He should be a footnote. He should be in one.
Footnote should read mistakes were made.
He should be in one of those displays, where they talk about, okay, like listen, like where they like big people, they give them like a big old display, but then they have like a little small display where they talk about 8 or 9 different people. He should be at the bottom in the corner. That's what he should be.
And have an asterisk too. Yeah.
I was just about to say an asterisk. How some mistakes were made.
How self-hating, self-loathing do you have to be?
He keeps showing us.
And, yeah.
And the problem is, like you said, he got to stick around. Because if he don't stick around, they're gonna put somebody who's probably even more weak and more crazy than him.
And younger.
That's going to be younger, and much younger, and much younger.
Years younger, yeah.
And much younger, to keep this thing going.
Mm-hmm.
And I was mistaken. Justice Roberts, I was misinformed into thinking that he was one of the more reasonable justices. And listen, one thing about me, I admit when I'm wrong. Other folks don't like to do that, but I will. I was misinformed. He has been the architect of dismantling the Voting Rights Act. He's been the puppet master this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be nice if the Democrats say, hey, listen, man, because I remember back in the past when they had the House and the Senate and they had Barack in office and they was like, hey, man, push all this stuff through. Like, we could change, like, you don't have to have 60 votes in the House. You know what I'm saying? Just make it a simple majority. Push this stuff through. Yeah. And it was like, man, we can't do that, man, because when the Republicans get it, then they can do what they want to do. Well, you see what they're doing.
Do what they want to do regardless, right?
Always.
You see what they're doing. So yeah, it's time for y'all to get some nuts, man. And I think, to your point, Erika, we got to go back to the Panthers, where you had, Fred Hampton, where they were coming out and they were, hey, listen, in order for you to be a part of the movement, in order for you to be a part of what we're doing in the community, you have to participate in these classes. You have to learn about how the government works, how politics works on a local level, on a state level. You have to learn that. And we have to be able to have people who we can trust, who the community trusts, to be able to educate them onto why this matters.